Marty Supreme, Marty Supreme, Marty Supreme. Today I'm going to review Marty Supreme, the latest film starring Timothée Chalamet as a ping pong or table tennis player in the 1950s who's out to conquer the world. Whether you think Chalamet is a good actor or not, he certainly has one of the highest profiles of any young actor working today. Myself, I think he's a great actor, as evidenced by his roles in Dune as well as A Complete Unknown. Just last year, he won an award at the SAGs, the Screen Actors Guild Awards, for Best Actor. And it was during his acceptance speech that he uttered the probably divisive line that he wanted to be one of the greats, as in one of the great actors.
I'm naming her Chalamet after Timothée Chalamet.
One of the greats.
Now, that statement may come across as arrogant, big head, full of himself, whatever. But I like to think of it as a product of youth and a healthy dose of self-confidence.
Timothée Chalamet plays me.
And the thing is, it's not like there's no substance behind his statement. He's backed this up with appearances in blockbusters such as the Dune films and Wonka, as well as Oscar-nominated appearances in Call Me By Your Name in 2017, as well as 2024's A Complete Unknown, where he played the iconic Bob Dylan. And I don't know whether it's shrewd marketing or not, but Chalamet brings a lot of that same brashness and braggadocio and energy to the role of Marty Mauser, the lead character in Marty Supreme. Marty Mauser is based on a real-life American ping pong player from the 50s named Marty Reisman, who's known for his quirks and eccentricities and flair and a general hustler-type persona. Such as Marty's single-minded drive and determination, he's willing to do anything to get to the top, including having contentious relationships and occasional altercations with the likes of his childhood friend Rachel, played by Odessa A'zion, his uncle Murray, and even his mother Rebecca, played by Fran Drescher. In his relentless journey to get to the top echelons of his sport, he catches the eye of retired actress Kay Stone, who's portrayed by Oscar winner Gwyneth Paltrow, as well as her husband, the wealthy businessman Milton Rockwell, who's played by Kevin O'Leary of all people. Marty needs money to get where he's going, and he's willing to do almost anything to raise the cash. That's pretty much the plot in a very thin nutshell. While on the surface, the film could be viewed as a typical sports tale, albeit using the relatively low-profile game of table tennis.
Ping pong, or, as the Chinese say, ping pong.
The narrative is more about Marty's hustle and bustle, as he pressures some of his family and friends to do his bidding and uses deceit to fool others. He even resorts to being humiliated in public to get where he needs to go.
Shame! Shame!
Now, if you've seen the 2019 film Uncut Gems, which was directed by the Safdie brothers and starred Adam Sandler, then you'll realize that Marty Supreme contains plenty of that film's edgy, nervous, almost manic energy. Which is not a surprise given that Josh Safdie, who is one of the brothers behind Uncut Gems, is also the director of Marty Supreme. The first half hour of Marty is actually rather conventional or even serene in tone, but then the narrative goes into overdrive with a series of crazy developments and complications and frequent forays into dangerous situations. By the end, it's almost a bit too much.
Hey, Sylvia, I looked in the mail. Well, this whole box is Pepe Sylvia!
Overall, I do feel the film runs a little too long. And there's one failing. Most of the characters aren't very likable, including Marty himself. Marty's take-no-prisoners approach and seeming disregard for everyone in his life can get pretty annoying after a while.
Will you stop that, please?
There is some form of redemption for Marty towards the end, but it comes quite fast and a little late and unearned, I feel. The one character who's actually quite decent is Marty's friend Dion, played by Luke Manley, but he only appears in a few scenes. What are some positives then? I think the production values are quite polished, such as the directing and the editing. And then there is the production design and the set decoration, especially with regards to the recreation of the era. Take it from my wife, who's a history major and a stickler for period detail and accuracy. She thought the costuming especially was spot on and helped immerse you into 1950s New York City. With regards to the acting, I thought it was very good across the board. Chalamet himself is a powerhouse, dominating the screen with his personality and charisma, and effortlessly conveying Marty's unlikability. It's another positive step towards his acting goals, which, as I mentioned earlier, is to be one of the greats. Marty Supreme, Marty Supreme.
One of the greats.
A'zion, as the main female character, is a hapless accomplice in many of Marty's schemes, and she even flips the script on occasion. Early on in the film, it's revealed that she's 8 months pregnant, and though she evokes some sympathy with her plight, she ultimately comes across as not being very likable either. Then we come to Gwyneth Paltrow, who hasn't acted much since the Marvel superhero film Avengers Endgame in 2019. She's quite solid as the actress who catches Marty's eye, but she also falls one too many times for Marty's hustle. As I was watching, I kept thinking, when will she ever learn? It's also a pleasure to see Fran Drescher in a rare film role. You may remember her from TV's The Nanny, with her distinctive voice. And then there's rapper, musician Tyler, the Creator, who is such a natural at acting, I was wondering, where has he been? The acting surprise for me is Kevin O'Leary, also known as Mr. Wonderful, and his work on TV's Shark Tank. He's ruthless and convincing as a businessman. Though, when you think about it, given the persona he portrays on his TV show, is it all that surprising? Finally, see if you can spot Penn Jillette, who's one half of that magician duo Penn and Teller. He's almost unrecognizable in this film. In summary, Marty Supreme is a chaotic, sometimes breathless descent into one sportsman's drive to become and be the best. The sporting side, that is those ping-pong sequences, bookend the film, but take a back seat to the main drama, which is that of Marty's road to humiliation and ultimately redemption.
I would have followed you, my brother, my captain, my king.
I wasn't a fan of Uncut Gems, but I did find Marty Supreme to be an improvement, if not a major leap beyond. That there wasn't anyone to really root for until near the end at least was a little bit of a detriment for me. But the energy and the film craft and the pretty strong acting on display make it, I think, worth a watch. My final rating, a 6 out of 10. Have you seen Marty Supreme? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this content, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.